Greetings y'all, I am Blade Dasher, and today, in this Black and White 2 SOYO challenge, we face the champion, Iris. I find Iris' team to be a lot similar to Lance's from the Johto region. They're both dragon trainers, half their team is dragons, but they also have 3 Pokemon with different typings to try and throw you off your game. Though Iris does not have the illegally underleveled Dragonites. Unfortunately, Iris' dragons are way tougher, and this fight quickly becomes a 6-on-6 slugfest that comes down to the wire. But hey, we fought these dragon types before, our team should be able to handle them one more time. And so, with my team of Liepard, Levanny, Lopunny, Probopass, Claydol, and Banette, we head down to square up for our final bout. Iris doesn't fuck around. Hydreigon, who was once an ace Pokemon, is now the lead for this fight. Unlike Ghetsis, however, we have all our tools at our disposal to deal with it this time. I hit Hydreigon with the good old fake out Thunder Wave combo, and then I go back to my tried and true method for dealing with it. Jump kicking it to death with Lopunny. I want Levanny to be healthy for later, and if I sent her in, she would have been roasted alive by Flamethrower. One dragon down, 2 to go. Not only is Druddigon packing sheer force, as well as a bunch of moves that can abuse it, such as Focus Blast, Flamethrower, Rock Slide, and Dragon Tail, it's also packing a Life Orb, boosting its damage even further. I have Lopunny use Charm here, not knowing it's a mixed attacker, and she proceeds to get a metric ton of Focus Blast. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, Sheer Force removed the secondary effect of Life Orb, which means Druddigon gets to attack without losing HP. I switch in Liepard to fake out Druddigon, and her Dark type invites her to use Focus Blast. I then abuse this invitation to get Banette in for free. For once, I don't bother with trying to burn Dredigan, and I just have Bayonet attack. Now, I wanted her to use Facade here, but I accidentally mess up and use Sucker Punch instead. The misclick mattered too, as Bayonet doesn't kill with Facade and then dies. I send in Probopass next to paralyze it, as Iris uses one of her full restores. And yes, you heard me right, one of her full restores. She has 3 of them. You're either going to want to finish off your plate, or loop a situation where she has to use a full restore multiple times. Anticipating the quad effective Focus Blast, I successfully switch into Claydol. I am behind by a fair bit, so I go for a Charge Beam Extra Sensory combo to set up. At this point, I think panic and frustration start to set in, because I take no chances and just have Claydol go kaboom for the trade, even though I'm pretty sure a second extra sensory would have killed here. But at the very least, we get a free switch in into Liepard again. Next up is Archeops, a flying rock Pokemon with an Achilles heel. It's very much in your best interest to knock it down to half HP as soon as possible, because then you'll trigger Defeatist, cutting its attacking stats in half. Liepard is close to death, but because I'm playing around Defeatist to a fault, I have her go out with the lesser of 2 Dark Stabs, Sucker Punch. It doesn't really work, however, as we knock it into potion range, and worst part is, Night Slash probably would have killed here. So I bring in Probopass and use Power Gem because, again, Defeatist, except Iris doesn't use her full restore here, and I'm not sure why. The wiki says she has 3 of them, people online said she has 3 of them, so why isn't she using them? Maybe she's saving them for the ace, but whatever. After that really rough first half, we are taking this. And now the most violent matchup in this entire challenge. Aggron threatens an Oko with Earthquake, but we get the upper hand with Sturdy, and Probopass one-shots it back with Earth Power. Oh god, here come the big guns. The final dragon and the final ace, Haxorus. Probopass gets lucky one more time, dodging a dual chop and getting Haxorus paralyzed. This shit is critical to our victory. I have Probopass use Power Gem before it dies, and then I sent in my ace and my last hope for winning this fight, Levanny. Both Levanny and Haxorus set up with a Swords Dance and a Dragon Dance respectively. I need to kill Haxorus this turn, otherwise it will probably one-shot me with a +1 X Scissor. The entire match comes down to this. And thankfully, Levanny delivers one last time. Only one more Pokemon to go. And it's freaking Lapras, who Levanny easily outspeeds and shreds thanks to Swords Dance, with one final Leaf Blade. We take the match and become the new Unova Champions. That was the most tense match I've had this entire challenge. Mistakes were made, lucky breaks saved my ass, the win was ugly, but we managed to barely pull through in the end. Oh, what a ride. And thus, the Pokemon Black and White 2 Screw Over Your Opponent challenge comes to a close. And wow, what an experience. While the credits are rolling, I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about my team, and my first impressions of each Pokemon, because believe it or not, this is my first time using every single one of these Pokemon ever. Starting with my Liepard, Shade, she very much had growing pains. As a Purloin, all she could do was use Leaf and Return, and that was about it. But oh man, once she evolved, she got access to Fake Out and then Thunder Wave, making her a dedicated lead on my party, and she was really good at it as Paralysis saved my ass a bunch of times. Next up is Flora the Levanny, and in case you couldn't tell by me calling her my ace in the champion fight, I consider her my strongest team member. Even with a minus speed nature, she was getting to jump on many Pokemon and she secured a lot of important kills. She swept 2 gym leaders. Though even Levanny isn't perfect. Because of her grass bug typing, I had to watch out for fire and flying moves, and that minus speed nature did catch up to her by the Elite Four, but thanks to her excellent teammates, she was able to pop off. Our Lopunny, Charlotte, did one thing and did it really well: Jump Kick. The fact that she got it so early and was able to brawl a Dwebble made her a huge asset on the team early on. Now, I was aware of the Clutch Trick combo and was a little bummed that Lopunny never learned Trick, but she didn't need it, and neither did I. Not only was Roxanne the Probopath a great tank, she was also a nice special attacker to round out my team of physical Hyper Strikers. While she was useless against Clay, she popped off against Skyla and became a great partner for Levanny. Though much like Levanny, I had to watch out for those quad weaknesses, though having Sturdy made it a lot easier to deal with. She also had some nice utility, especially with her Thunder Wave into Volt Switch combo, which I used a lot throughout this challenge. I feel bad for Cyclops the Clado, who didn't get to show up until Colress, but was doing a lot of work behind the scenes in the generic fights. Its ground psychic typing and decent bulk were nice, but was also an emergency setup sweeper thanks to Charge Beam. Though, once I did fight Colress and Marshall, it really pulled its weight. Maria the Banette was okay. It did hit hard and had Will-O-Wisp for burns, but I don't think Toxic Orb Facade was the play. I was effectively putting a timer on an already frail Pokemon, and it really started to show during the Elite Four. Overall, I really liked this team. It pretty much played like a hyper offense team due to all the sacrifices and the setup tools, but for a team of 6 supposedly bad Pokemon, they were surprisingly stacked. Now, I'm not bringing this shit to a Gen 5 OU game, but it was really cool to see all these underdogs hold their weight. To everyone here that made it to the end of this Black and White 2 SOYO challenge, thank you. Thanks for sticking around as I slowly figured out how I wanted to do these kinds of commentary videos. It was very much a learning experience for me. I do have another challenge run in the works, but you won't be seeing it for a long while. I want to record and edit all the videos in advance so that way when the time comes, I can upload the videos on a consistent schedule. And not like what I was doing with this challenge. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series, and until next time, I gotta dash. Have a great day, y'all.